So here's a quick recap of what we talked about today. Today our main point of focus was equations of lines that are in slope-intercept form. So this right here, y equals mx plus b, is what we call slope-intercept form. Now the nice thing is the name makes sense because in this form of linear equations we have both the slope is the value of m. Okay, now it's not m and x, it's just the value of m. So if m was 1/3, that would mean the slope is 1/3, up 1/3. And the intercept, now it doesn't say which intercept because we have x and y intercepts, but they're implying that it is the y-intercept, where the graph crosses the y-axis. So in this case, again, we have our slope and we have our y-intercept. So I'll just slope, y-intercept. Okay. So keep in mind, if we have a coordinate plane here, let's say I have a point that goes through 0, 0, and let's say it goes to the point 2, 4. We see here that if we were to draw a line through these 2 points, because we only need 2 points for a line, obviously there are infinite points on this line. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see this. To find the slope, if we're given the graph, we can use our slope formula, or we can just count from one point to the other, figure out how far do you go up. Well, from this point to this point, we go up 4, that's along our y-axis, so that's 4, and we go over 2. So in this case, our slope, or our m value, so I'll put it in parentheses here, is up 4/2, which reduces to 2. So that's going to be my slope. My y-intercept is where my graph crosses, so I'll just abbreviate int as intercept, that's going to be my b value, is where my graph crosses my y-axis. Now in this case it crosses the x and the y-axis at the same place. It crosses this vertical line. This is the y-axis. This horizontal one is the x-axis. It crosses the y-axis at 0. So my y-intercept is simply 0. So if I put these two together, I would get that the equation of this line is y equals m, which is 2, x plus 0. Now, usually we don't put plus 0, so you could just simplify this to y equals 2x. This is the equation of this line. Now, the next part they just give us, they say write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form that has the following condition. So it says m is 4. Okay, so I know that m is my slope, and my y-intercept is -5. So I always like to start out with y equals mx plus b, and then I plug in my parts. So m is going to be replaced with 4, and b is going to be replaced with -5. We know that plus a -5 is the same thing as just putting -5. So there's my equation. The next one, it says that my m, my slope, is 4/5, and then they give me this point, 0, 8. Oh, but if the x-coordinate is 0, that means that it's on the y-axis. To get to the point 0, 8, we go 0 over and we go 8 up, so we know that this is actually going to be my y-intercept. Any point that has 0 as an x-coordinate, you know is your y-intercept. So y equals mx plus b. I know that my m is 4/5, and my b is just 8. And the last scenario here, they give me my slope again. So my slope is going to be 0. That's interesting. Oh, that means my line is horizontal. It doesn't have a slope. And my y-intercept is going to be 4. So y equals 0 times x plus 4. Well, 0 times any number is just 0. So a line that just goes through, that just has a y-intercept of 4 is just y equals 4. So again, if we were to actually graph that, let me show you. So the y-intercept was 4. 1, 2, 4 units up. It would just be a horizontal line. This would be the line y equals 4. The last part says, are these lines parallel, perpendicular, neither? Now keep in mind, parallel has the same slope, perpendicular, their slopes are opposite reciprocals, and neither would be, well, their slopes are either not the same or opposite reciprocals. So what we know here is that we need to find and compare the slopes. The slope is the giveaway to whether lines are parallel or perpendicular. So in this case, to find the slope, we have to get it in y equals mx plus b. So I have to get y by itself. So the first thing that I see here is that I could distribute my 1/3. So this would become 1/3 x, and 1/3 times 9 is 9 divided by 3, which is just 3. And this side is y minus 2. So in order to get this in slope-intercept form, I need to add 2 to both sides. So I have now, those will cancel, y equals 1/3 x plus 5. So all that I really care about in this equation, if I'm trying to figure out parallel, perpendicular, neither, is my slope. So the slope of this line, slope is 1/3. Now for the next equation, I don't have y by itself, so I need to get y by itself by subtracting 3x. So in this case, if I do that, these would cancel, and I have y equals -6 minus 3x is -9x minus 4. Again, all I want to take from this is the slope. So the slope is -9, and if I compare these two, well, they're not even opposites. Yeah, one's positive, one's negative, but they're not the same, so they're not parallel. They're not opposite reciprocals. So in this case, they're neither. They are neither parallel nor perpendicular. Okay? There's no relationship. All right, bye.